Okay. All right. Well, hello, my fellow Bavarians. I wasn't planning on sharing something, but I decided to go with it because it's a new month, November 1st. And in 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, they're going to have the so-called elections, and I can see a lot of people, some people are nervous, some people are restless, and what have you. So I was trying to share something, to encourage all of us, especially if you know what your economy is all about, okay? The economies of the world are run by these political systems, so they have their way and agendas to run them, but it should not affect you if you know if you know what is the economy for our soul, for which our soul were created. So this is a word of encouragement, because I say I created this group just for that purpose, so we could all share. You're welcome to do exactly what I'm doing in this group. Whenever you want to do what I'm doing, you can create your own program. You want to do something live and share it. I don't care what is it. I'm not going to disagree with you, because the whole purpose of creating this program was for you and I to share what helped each one of us, to be able to overcome all the situations in life. And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm sharing those things that have helped me. And at any point you want to share something live in this group, you want to say something that inspiring you, you're welcome to do the same. I'm not going to ban anybody. I don't believe in banning anybody. This is freedom of speech. Even if you say goes against everything I believe, I'll let you say it. In this group, I don't ban anybody. Okay, so let that be the thing, not to encourage you to speak or share anything with the group. So you're welcome to do that here. So basically, I just thought of, and that's what it says. The message says, by cherishing and keeping with your whole heart the immutable, that's unchangeable, fatherly character of God, you can be unmovable, unstoppable, and unafraid of all creation. Okay, because if you understand your economy is to get to know that character about Him, that matches all the resilient, brilliant garden, which is so complete. All the plants and all the things in the resilient, all the cells are multiplying and dividing. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are. In the resilient garden, the organic garden of God, everything continues to work, like it's nothing going on, because their economy is to just express the completeness of God. So they're fruitful and they're multiplying in the seasons. They're not changing for anybody or for anything. So once we're planted in that, that's what we need to acquire for ourselves, then all the circumstances in life, will not affect us as well. So that's the whole thing. I'm just sharing a little thing on this part here. Let me get to my screen here. See, I'm looking here like this. Go to this screen here. All right. All right. So today, all right. So here we are. This is where I used to have the streets running in the background, but since nighttime, I decided to put the building, Chicago downtown, in there for the background. But in any case, this is where we are. I'm glad to see you, Brian. I decided to do it through my timeline this time. I'm experimenting now because since they're not letting me do it to my group, that means to tag people. I decided to come in here and tag some of you. See if you got my tag this time. I see Brian said that he got it, so I'm glad to hear that. So that's probably how I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go to my time, to my own page, and from there I can share to other groups. That's what I'm going to be doing it. I guess that's the way to work with this, because otherwise it doesn't let me tag anybody. But at least this time it seems that it let me tag. I know that Brian is in here and said that he got a link. So I hope that the rest of you, maybe it's kind of late. I don't think you're going to be up to here, but this is what I'm sharing tonight. We're looking at this aspect here, and let me see. Let me go to the next thing here because I want to share some stuff with you here. All right, now this is okay. Here we go. Let me lower this thing for now. All right, let me bring the sword of the Lord out here. All right, so you can read what I'm saying there. So let me see if I can remember this. I was trying to remember this little song that I learned a while ago. It's it's not my song, but it's a verse from Scripture. So I think of that as, "Behold, God is my salvation. That is my completeness. What makes me whole." Salvation in the Scriptures, especially in the Tanakh, is what makes you complete, what makes you whole. In other words, when God is in you, then you are like David. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. I have need of nothing. That's the whole idea. You're complete. So behold, God is my completion. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. Let me see if I remember it. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. Let's try to sing instead of salvation, my completion. Okay. Behold, God is my completion. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my completion. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my completion. La 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 la. In other words, are you complete with Him, really? What do you go to the Torah for? What are you going to the Bible for? What is it that you want to get out of God, or out of having had an encounter with Him? And that's the thing. Most people think that the idea of meeting God in this world is to get some sort of circumstantial benefit. Let me repeat that again. Most of you, the way you've been introduced by most religions is that, you come to God to get some circumstantial benefits. That means the surroundings are going to get better. Your health is going to get better. You're going to get the things. You're going to, if you're a man, you're going to find the girl of your dreams. If you're a girl, you're going to find the man of your dreams. And all these things. So the whole idea, so if you behave in certain pattern that they teach you, the blessings will be such. You will either get more money, a better job. So it's all circumstantial benefits, okay? As if, that's what is missing. Like we were born with a, deficiency of circumstantial benefits that are good. And if, with the help of God, we're going to get them, And so that's when you miss the whole point, okay? Because you understand that God made us in His image, and we're made in somebody's image, and we're here to reflect who He is. And that means we have a heart to match with His heart. We have a mind to match with His mind, and we have a will that will match with His will. So therefore, there's a matching and a in sync situation, then His character can flow out of us to take care of all things. God loves to show off by just taking care of all His creation, being available for all the things that He has made. He cannot indwell the soul that is not looking at things that way, because you think that God made you in His image so you can go and act like anything else, like any idols or any star or anything else that appears in the world except like Him, then you mistaken the whole purpose for your existence, and you're living in vain. And so that's the whole idea. What is it that you want? So most people want, because they want to have a good situation here, stay healthy, get a good house, get a good job, you get kids that are very well behaved, and when they leave this world, they want to go to a nice mansion in the sky, with a tennis pool and what have you. So it's all circumstantial, So the thing is, when you want to know God for those reasons, for a better situation, for a better surroundings, for better circumstances, then you can easily be moved. You can easily be shaken and be made afraid, because when circumstances are not working the way that you plan or the way that your religion told you they were supposed to work, then you start shaking in your boots, right? Because that's what your whole economy is all about. Circumstantial benefits, whether you mean for the body or everything else. So the thing is, then, you can easily be moved, okay? But you got to understand, you have to know the purpose. If I know you, like I know my purpose from the Torah, is clearly to me that I was made for the character of the Ab, of the Alef-Beyt, the Father. That's very well established to me, okay? Even when I was in Christianity, I understood the verse from 14:6, John 14:6, where Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man coming unto the Father but by me. So I understand the whole purpose of everything in the world is to come to the Father and to be established in His character. So His character will flow out of you. And now that I'm in the Tanakh and I'm in the Torah, and Torah is my only guide, now I know what I'm standing on, and I know what character is flowing out of me at all times. And the only way that I will shake and get all anxious and all nervous, if you could do something to destroy the character of the Alef-Beyt. If you could do something to destroy the character of the Father, then you will have me, what's going to happen? Then I'll be shaking like the rest of the world are shaking right now. Because to you, the Alef-Beyt, your father and mother, the ones that take care of you, is your job, right? Is your nice status that you have. It's the nice way that people look at you. The things that surround you, your good car and all these things by which, you create status in your society. Those are your mommy and your daddy, that let you stand up in this community. But once those things, stand in a situation where you're going to lose them, then there it goes, Then you're shaking at what this so-called pandemic, quote unquote, is doing, is making people afraid that they might lose their houses because they don't have any money to pay their mortgage. They might lose their car payments. They might do all these things, might get lost, that were easily accessible before. and so they're, they don't know what to do. They're all shaking in their boots about this whole situation. So because your economy is not the one for which you were created, so that's why you're shaking in your boots. But the whole idea is, if you know that you were made for the Father, no matter what happened to you, then nothing is going to happen to you. I know that as bad as things are, maybe you have some friends that have passed away of COVID, and I'm sorry to hear that. I know some of you do. Some of you might have acquired COVID, and some of you are recuperating already, because it's very much a lot of people recover from it. So that might be your situation, but I don't think that anybody, as far as I know, I haven't heard anybody gone through some situation as bad as what Job went. And Job wasn't going through a pandemic. In the book of Job, you see what happened to him. All his kids, all of them died. Having a big party, and all the four walls collapsed, and all the kids died in an hour, in an instant. Okay? And all was done by Satan, because Satan had the permission of God to do it. And in chapter 2 of Job, God said that he did it, because, he gave Satan permission to do it. He took the responsibility for it. And so we got to read that. But the whole thing, I haven't heard any of you guys go through anything of what Job went through. He had everything going for himself. And all of a sudden, this happened to him, and there was no pandemic going on in the world. This happened directly aimed just at him. So imagine what everybody was thinking. Man, this man was the pillar of society. Everything was going fine and dandy with him. And no, look what become of him, man. So his friends, his true friends that were supposed to back him up, they came to criticize him, and they were wondering that there must have been something wrong that he did. That's why God did this to him, and they were trying to get him to confess that, And then Job compared himself to them, he didn't have anything bad that he had done compared himself to them. Okay, so he will not say that he was getting this because he did something bad, like they were accusing him, And so the whole thing goes on and on. But he does not give up on God because of the circumstances that happened to him, So the Lord gave, the Lord took away. The name and the representation of God is blessed and strong. Because what is the name of the representation of God? The character of taking care of everything else. And then, therefore, that was going to continue to be his motto for his whole existence. God's character had not changed. In other words, the Lord gives the circumstances and he takes away the circumstances, but who he is does not change. Blessed be the representation of who he is. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He understood what he was made for. It's hard. It's hard to go through it. It's tough to go. Your heart is attached, to your children, especially, to everything that you have in this world. But at the end of the day, when you know what you were made for, and you understand that all things belong to God, that we are only stewards in this world, that everything is his, because, the way that we mistake many times is that we misappropriate. Like there's such crime as misappropriation of funds when you're working for a company and you're embezzling some money, misappropriation of funds. So a lot of our souls do that. We misappropriate ownership. We are stewards of everything that God has. We are stewards of this body. You understand? This is God's body. And we have to learn his kosher diet to take care of this body, because this is his body. So we are the stewards of this body. We are the stewards of everything. We are the stewards of the words that we use. These are the words that he taught us so that we will speak on his behalf. So we have to answer. So everything is his, okay? But we must appropriate it. From time to time, we think that it's ours, and we begin to act like it's ours and all of that. But what belongs to us is the care of everything that he brings our way. Because he brings a lot of things our way so that the character of the Father will come out of us. He gives us children. Why? So that the character of the Father, so we will enjoy the fellowship of the character of the Father coming out of us. So all of you that are fathers and mothers and you have children, the whole setup of having a family was to you to have intimacy with the Father coming out of you to show you how he takes care of things. Because you're learning from him. He set it up. Every situation that he puts along your way in which you can be of help to your fellow man. That's another situation in which he's showing his care. Different aspect of what a father does for all of his creation. So he had to show the Father and to enjoy that intimacy. So all the circumstances are for that, you see. And so that's the whole idea. So the thing is, so he understood, and so even when his friends were trying to tell him that, and even the wife he had was telling him, just curse God and die, look, you're still faithful to him after, he got all kinds of disease. The dogs are licking your skin because you have all kinds of stuff with sores going in there. And still you want to be, just curse God and die, the wife told him, right? Because the wife was committed to circumstantial benefit. Okay? And so it happens that a lot of religions, that's what they teach. Christianity and all the religions, as far as I know, even Jewish religions are getting into prosperity and everything, all circumstantial. I'm not talking about the Orthodox Jews, that really goes into the Torah, but I'm talking about even those that are reform and liberal, that they want to embrace this world. And so the whole idea is that you need to enjoy and cherish who God is because of his aspect, his character of completeness. That he's constantly holding onto the words. He's the greatest epistemologist. He holds onto words and definitions because that's the reality of everything. Without with the definitions and meanings of the words cannot create and maintain and sustain everything. So he invites us to acquire that character of being an epistemologist, to just holding onto meanings and definitions of words, so we will take care of everybody's business. The whole idea is that to be as best a steward as possible, the best butler that he can have, to bring humanity to the highest expression of what humanity can do, once we're indwelled with the character of the Father. That's what we're here for, to aim at that, and that's what we're looking for. So the thing is, if that's what you're here for, if that's, the reason why you want to continue to exist in this world, then this pandemic has no effect upon you. You are unmovable because the character of your Father has not changed. You are unshakable, you're unmovable, you're unstoppable. Anything that you want to do to reveal him still open to you. And you're unafraid of creation because you were not made to be pleased and satisfied by the circumstances of creation, but you were made to bring upon the face of creation, the character of your Maker, the character of your Father. And so the whole world, whole creation is only a canvas. It's a screen where you can project him, a canvas where you can paint his love and his care on every moment, on every occasion. You're not here to suck anything out of creation, but you're here to blast and send out his presence, send out his understanding. That's what you're here for. And for that, all time is available for that, This week, for some reason, they did not give me overtime this week. Usually I get like 2 hours of overtime every day, but they didn't give me only this week until Saturday. They're going to give me some overtime. So I get off at 1:30, so I want to be sharing, hopefully every day. I'm going to share a little bit thing because right now, this is the week, but a lot of people are getting all nervous. So I'm going to be sharing more words of encouragement as it goes. But I thought I'd start here to tell you, that God does everything because he wants to know that it is, he sends all kinds of things because in the end, he wants to test to see if you are in the same page, in the same mindset. Are you with me? Are you ready to convey my mind to the world? Are you set with my mindset to transmit that to the world, Or you're just a gold digger. You want my riches. You want to come to my heaven. You want to come, you want all the gold that I have. You want all those things. Is that what you like me? Because I have all the riches also, because I made those things? Is that what you want from me? Or you want my character? And I said people that want to have a better circumstances, that want to be raptured because they don't want to be found. All this is circumstantial benefits. People that want to get out of the world because there's so much tribulation. Tribulation, what have you, all of these things, nobody goes as bad through what Job went. And Job did not ask to be raptured. Oh man, I hope that God raptured me out of this circumstance. Things are getting so bad. Wasn't even praying for any rapture to get out of it. Okay? So none of that stuff mattered. Okay? Because in the Bible, there's no such thing. The Tanakh, in the Torah, the Tanakh, there's nothing about prepare to go to heaven and do all these things right to go to heaven. Everything is about God made you for him to be in here. And when you change, and when your heart is completely set to find him, then he's going to be dwelling in you. Because I'm going to share this portion from, let me see if I can put it here. Let me see if I can share it with you guys here. All right. Okay, good. Let me take it to Jeremiah. Yeah, here we go. He says here, then shall ye call, this is at the end, Jeremiah 29, verses 12 to 14. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken, I will listen to you. And ye shall seek me and find me, but you're going to look for me, not for my heaven, not for, better circumstances, not for all. You're gonna and you're gonna want me for who I am. Ye shall seek me for who I am, and ye shall find me for who I am, when ye shall search for me as I am with all of your heart, 100% of your heart. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. Okay? So, you understand that the word heart, okay? Let me see if I can take you to where I was before at the beginning. I was here. Okay, here. The word heart comes from the lamet. You see that the shepherd's staff, it says lamet, when you have it there, the bag, lamet, the shepherd's staff, and then Beth, which is all the way at the beginning, all the way there at the beginning, all the way on top. The second one, after Alef-Beyt, okay? Alef-Beyt. So, lamet and Beth, that's for heart. Okay? And this lamet is for guidance, right? Rules or guidance or instructions or, And then the Beth is for the floor plan or the house or the compartment. Okay? So, what it means is heart, leb is leb. Okay? Leb is for heart. Leb means heart in Hebrew. And what it stands for is the guidelines compartment or the guidelines encasement. Where it's kept. So it's like, you could think of it as the guidelines is being the Torah. The Torah being kept in a safe place, in a compartment all for itself. Just like in the Ark of the Covenant, in the Ark, they kept the commandments in there, and that one was a compartment. That was the Ark of the Covenant. That's why the compartment, the Torah was kept in there. So, it's like the title deed. When the owners have a title deed to their company, they put all their documents and the manuals and the guidelines. Where do they put it? In a safe box, right? A compartment for all the things, that are very precious, that gives you the ownership, right? So that's what the heart is. The heart is the compartment where all the Torah should be kept, 100%. That's why people all has to be occupied in it, because once you take upon this compartment, all the instructions, the guidelines, and so it's a compartment, the guidance compartment. So it's the safety box that God uses, to guard all that He's presenting to you. And He, also is the heart, is the part that empathizes with Him, that identifies with Him. And so, you know His pain, His concern, His, what He values the most. And so that's where you are, heart with Him. And so the guidance safety box, where He puts His title deed of His character. He's like that's His guarantee that He's going to shine out of you, Like if you keep all His Torah in your heart, that's a guarantee. He's got the guarantee and the promise. That's like everybody wants from a business what I call the promised land, because the promise is the bar. The promise of the word, of guarantee. The promised word that when they buy a product, they can get it, renewed if it breaks down or something like that. Everybody wants that, and they keep that warranty in a safe place whenever they buy the product, because that's warranty. So that's the same thing. So here, the guidance compartment, the safe place, that's what the heart is. And God wants you to keep all His word in it, because once you do that, that's the promised land to God that His character is going to flow out of you. So you see what I'm saying? So everything makes sense like that. So that's when people realize they've gone through this world, especially the children of Israel, the Jews are finding out right now that all those The business and everything are crumbling, going down. And so they tried everything. They tried to become successful. Wall Street, they made millions, they lost millions. They tried to, become influential in the real estate market. They're trying to become influential in politics. And they're finding that at the end, all the economies of the world have crumbled, to a little 40 nanometer, a virus named COVID-19. Okay. And so that's what have you. So the thing is, and nobody has ever seen just by the pictures they portray to you, but nobody has really gone to see it in a microscope. I bet you barely less than 1% of the population have really seen a virus like that. You go by all the narrative that's given to you. But that's what I'm talking about. So know what your economy stands, and then you will be unmovable, unstoppable, and unafraid, because your economy has not suffered harm. Okay, so that's why I share these things. And like I said before, this group is here for us to share with one another. The things that we, that govern our mindset, our way of thinking, so that your heart is at ease, your body is calm, because, no matter how bad COVID is killing people, still the number one killer in America is heart disease, because this whole thing comes down to the condition of the heart. What I'm asking you right now, what is the condition of your heart right now towards God? When God looks upon your soul, does he see in your heart that's fully, completely packed with all the Torah, and he sees there a feast going on and a party? You're always connecting his word, and you're seeing that you understand this, and you're so happy to understand that he does things this way, and that's why you rejoice all the time. That's what he sees when he sees your heart? Or he sees the heart completely broken, completely not even interested in anything that has to do with the Bible. But even if you're a Christian, you know a couple of verses here and there, and you're just looking forward for a rapture, you're looking forward for a heaven, you're looking forward for all these nice circumstances, and you can't get... Is that what God spent like almost 2,000 years, writing everything, so that you will just have a couple of promises here and hope better circumstances and not get to know who he is? Come on now. I'm going to be like Biden now on this thing. Come on, man. Really, you think that that's what the whole purpose was? To take thousands of years to write this so that you will just, even some of those Christians, oh, no, the Torah is now dismissed. They never read it once. Or memorized not even a few chapters of it. And then you expect to just, when he's given that so that his character can flow out of you, come on now. That's not going to fly anywhere, okay? So you got to understand, that this is the reason why we were made, for him, okay? To understand him and to have his mindset and to acquire the character of the Heavenly Father that is unmovable and indestructible. And we understand that that's our economy. So when God is looking inside of you, the condition of the heart has suffered, towards God. God does not see a heart that is perfectly complete with him. So thus, the way you fail to present your heart to him, that's what happens to you. So because most people's hearts, especially in America, they're congested with so many things. They worry about this. So what you repeat, congestive heart failure is one of the conditions people die of. Because it's just preoccupied with so many things. It's congested. There's too much worries in your heart. You got to keep track of the insurance for this. You got to keep track of this. And so this congestive heart failure, you die of that. When your heart could be all simply connected just to understanding your maker. And then you don't put burden upon your body. You don't put burden upon your systems. Because your body is trying to copy the condition of your soul. If your soul is burdensome with all these things and everything, your whole body is trying to imitate your condition of your soul. And it gets sick because it's just processing and doing all the chemical necessary arrangements to match the condition of your soul. And how people get sick. But if you are sitting still, watching the Torah and seeing, connecting how everything runs, and how God keeps those that are his, in his word. And he is, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into him. The strong tower is the Father. You're in the Father. You understand what he's doing. You understand what here. So whatever he does, to bring people along your path to help them, you help them with. This is my way of helping people. I give you the riches of my understanding, so for your heart to calm down. There's no need to worry about all these things that the world wants. They're going to be done away with. It's only dust. It is the character of the Alef-Beyt, the Father, that remains forever and ever. And that's what he wants to give you, because while you're in his character, you are in the place that you were made for, okay? And as I explained, I put a little meme the other day, a few days ago, about understanding the 613 mitzvot. Those are 613 ways of bonding with God, okay? This is the language of love that I'm talking about, intimacy. When you're in love with somebody, you tell that person, your wish is my command. That's the highest language of love. That means whatever the person is just wishing, to you say no more. Okay, you're going with a girlfriend, man. Your girlfriend says, I wish I had an In-N-Out today. Say no more. We're gonna drive over there at midnight and get it. When you really love, you go do it. To you, the wish of somebody that you love. But the thing is, that's the language of love. So the commandments are not commandments in the way one said. They are bonding, ways of bonding, 613 ways of bonding, with your Maker. They're connections to his heart. They're connections to his mindset. So all these things are to connect us with him. You understand? So if you're sick, to just understand your Father, then those things are not a burden to you. All these things that he shows you is so understand that he is coming and flowing out of you. He asks you to do all these things because those are the things that he rejoices doing. So when you do it, you are saying, okay, Lord, flow out of me. That's what you enjoy. So, your wish is my command. You decide this. And you want to see all these things happen so that, he flows out of you. Because he made you for that purpose. And as you grow, you understand that that's how you enjoy him. Those are ways of bonding, For some reason, I was thinking of a song today. As I was meditating on that, I was thinking of this song called, I was just in my mind going 50 ways to be your lover. But I was saying, that's not how it goes, 50 ways. Then I remember it says, 50 ways to live your lover, But I thought, okay, change that song. It says 630 ways to be your lover. That's what God gave you 613, bonding ways to show his love flowing out of us. So, I was thinking, I'm going to change that song maybe to something like that. But I was just, because my mind's always thinking of ways to, put him in a song and make it easy for everybody to understand. But those 613 ways for God to love through us. Think of it that way. Isn't that beautiful? 613 ways in which he can he can show his love through us. Bonding. 613 ways of bonding, of connecting with us. That's beautiful when you look at it that way. And that's what your heart is there for. Because you want to know each way. When you please your Heavenly Father, you want to know each way to keep bonding with him. Okay, that's what you want to do. So and the bonding occurs as you take care of all of his creation. All his animals, all the people, all the forests, everything that surrounds you. Then you get to see the expansion, of his whole heart flowing out of you. And so, if that is your economy, you have nothing to worry. Pandemic or no pandemic, you're going to fly right through it. But the better circumstances in your economy, you're going to suffer. Things are not going to happen nice all the time. The rapture is not going to come when you think it's going to come, if you're ever going to come. So all these things that you think are going to happen are not exactly going to happen, but that's okay because you were made for the Father. To me, you were made for the Father. And his mindset you can acquire here and now, and that's what the whole T.O.R.A.H and the T.O.R.A.H teaches. That you got to come to this point, because this whole thing is here that at this point, in Jeremiah 29, that was going to happen, And I'm going to finish by reading Psalm 112, okay? And I'm not finished with this one. It says, praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man. Oh, let me put that in my screen. I'm so sorry. Let me put it in. Let me go back to where I'm here. Here we go. Blessed is the man that feareth. So praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. Okay, let me explain very clearly here that this wealth and riches are eternal wealth and eternal riches. Okay, and what do you think is the wealth and riches that are eternal? The guidelines that are in your heart, the safety box, that are going to bound in there, okay, because that's what's going to keep you. Because those are your wealth and riches that you put in there, because that's how you purchase, in a way, the divine character. That's the way you acquire him. With accumulating his gems, his diamonds are his Torah, all right? And when you have it in you, man, he's having a feast with you. So the generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house. And his righteousness has to do with the journey of the desires of the heart. And his righteousness endureth forever. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. Amen. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He's just giving away. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. Unmovable. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be unafraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, unmovable, unshakable, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be unafraid, until he sees his desire upon his enemies. He had dispersed. He had given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall gnash with his teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish. So there you go, my friends. I just thought I'd share this with you. I have some more to share tomorrow, hopefully. Other songs that I wanted to share today, but I will do them tomorrow. But this is something to encourage you. The voting time comes up, but those are the economies of this world. They're run by this system, but I'll talk tomorrow more about those things, about freedom of speech. Because what's the point of having freedom of speech? You cannot use it to say things like I'm saying. Because we have freedom of speech at this hour, but people don't really have anything to say to encourage our neighbor. Because in this pandemic, you should have 1,000 things to say to encourage your neighbor right now. But I hardly hear anybody talking about anything to encourage them and to put them above the mindset, above worries about this pandemic, and to put them into what really matters. You know what I'm saying? So that's the case here. So I'm glad we had some people here. Brian, John Barnes. Good evening, sir. Can you see that song? He's alive. I still remember that. Okay. Oh, I saw John Barnes. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, perfect. I'm good to have some of you showed up. That's very good. All right. At least I did about 45 minutes today. Not bad. Okay. So I thought I'd share this. All right. So I want to close with a little commercial. Let me see here if I can find something. And then I'll... okay. Yeah, we story more.